You're welcome to another episode of the Top Podcast of Kings. I remain your host, Ndo Kingsley. Today we'll be looking at topical and trending issues created from major newspaper headlines in the country. And on the show with me today is Mr. T, a public affairs analyst and social critic, and we'll be analyzing the stories as they drop. Mr. T, you're welcome on the show.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to have you. How are you doing, sir?
The pleasure is mine too. I'm fine, and you?
I'm very well, sir. I'm very well. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Alright, just before we delve into that conversation, we're going to take a short break, and when we return, the conversation continues. Just stay with us. Welcome back. Looking at trending issues in the country, Mr. T, we start with the Fubara Wike impasse. At least you're no stranger to the political impasse and disagreement between the present governor and the minister of Abuja, FCT rather. And many persons have said that issue behind this confrontation between these two political figures rests on resource control. Now, looking at the newspaper headlines, we have in the Punch, Rivers crisis, Fubara remains my political son despite Rift, says Wike. Another headline carries it as, Wike denies Rift with Fubara, says he is my boy. That's a recent comment by the FCT minister on the impasse or disagreement between him and his political godson, Fubara. What do you think about this statement? Do you think Wike is genuinely trying to reconcile or is just playing politics?
Politics itself, there is nothing like genuinity in politics.
All right.
Politics is an enterprise that is filled with hidden agenda.
Okay.
So, Wike will always hide his motive. He will always hide his motive. So, asking if he is genuinely coming for reconciliation, you may not get it. Politics is an exercise or enterprise enshrouded in secrecy. You never can tell his ulterior motive. Also, politics is all about interest. So whatever it takes for him to actualize his interest, he can do that. Even if it means that he has to behave like an individual who wants reconciliation, he can do it.
Alright, so in other words, it's just a subterfuge, a pretense.
Exactly.
Alright, so what does this mean for the people of Rivers State? You know, this Reconciliation Act, so what does it connote, right?
The people of Rivers State has lost virtually everything.
Okay.
So they are the ones at the receiving end.
Alright, now let's look at it from another perspective. You know, Wike has said that Fubara is his political son, and there's no rift to quarrel between them suddenly, and that's quite surprising, you know, going with the back and forth between them. Now let's get to the part of Fubara. Do you think Fubara, this reconciliation move on the part of Fubara, is a genuine one or just a political act of survival? Just to survive the period of it?
Permit me to borrow the statement of our great political master,
Okay.
Awolowo.
Yes.
He said that all is fair in war.
Okay.
I can also put it to you that all is fair in politics.
That's quite a resounding statement. All right. Away from this Fubara impasse, you know, and Fubara Wike impasse, let's consider another headlines, and that is the JAMB UTME glitch and apology. You know, we see the JAMB registrar, that is Professor Isha Oloyede, tearfully apologizing in the national press conference owing to the glitch that led to massive failure of persons or students who sat for the JAMB examination. I think the point picks it up as JAMB admits error in 2025 PTME and apologizes. Also, we see that in the Vanguard. Now, with this apology, what do you think on it? What do you think about this?
Nigeria should be ashamed of herself. We continue to commit children's error, minor mistakes, almost every day of our life. When are we going to be like other advanced and modern countries who conduct their affairs without these childish mistakes and errors? They call it a technical error.
Yes, a glitch.
But I can put it to you that a thorough investigation will reveal that there is something behind this error. Now look at the cluster where this thing happened. We have close to 12 states in this Lagos cluster. How did it happen to only the states in the southeast? A state that has been, a region that has been campaigning or crying that they have been marginalized for a long time. How did it happen to them? And Lagos only. How did it not happen to the people, Kogi State? How did it not happen to Katsina? How did it not happen to in FCT? Why did it only happen to the states in Southeast and Lagos? So right. For me, yes, there are ethnic connotations and signs explaining the fact that there might have been an ethnic card, something might have happened.
So you believe, your opinion that this glitch is not just a technical glitch for what it is, it's a human and intentional glitch?
It is a calculated attempt aimed at destroying the academic record of the people of that region.
All right. Now let's look at it from another perspective. You know, the registrar, that's Professor Ishaq Oluyede, has come out and tearfully on the national press conference, you know, he broke down and he was bold enough at least to apologize and admit error on his part. Now, what will make of this apology? Do you think there should be more accountability to this than just coming up openly and apologizing? Remember, Nigerian leaders hardly apologize for the mistake they make, let alone institutions.
I gain nothing from that apology.
Okay?
That emotional outburst is nothing. It does not explain anything to me.
Okay?
He is a professor for goodness sake. He should be able to handle his responsibilities with avoiding some of these human errors. Do you know how much was given to handle these responsibilities? At the end of the day, he came out to tell us that he is sorry. Is that what we are going to eat as a country? Is that what we are going to? That cannot.
So you think apology is not just enough? There should be punitive measures to
apology
to prevent
is not enough. He should be punished. If possible, he should leave or relinquish that position.
All right. Now, going forward in the future, it has been done. The deed has been done. At least there was a receipt of about 377,000 candidates, right? 279,997 candidates across 157 centers, both in Lagos and the Southeast zone. Now, going forward in the future, what can be done to forestall such occurrence, where we have glitches, you know, technical glitches that result in massive failure?
For me, we have to employ individuals with integrity.
That's great.
In this reputable position.
Okay.
We do not just need to employ Dick and Ken in this position. Employ individuals who have track records of integrity and performance. It is only people who have integrity that can stand and maintain the integrity of this exam. As it stands now, I can tell you that JAMB has outlived its usefulness. Borrowing a leaf from some countries like the US, Britain, and other countries yes. that have the best university educations. Do they have facilities or infrastructures like JAMB? They do not have. Once you make your O-level certificate, what do? You write to these universities seeking or requesting that they give you admission. If these universities find you qualified, what do? They give you admission. Why do you have to subject Nigerian students and citizens to this type of embarrassment, to this type of task, and still it is not properly done? It is not nice. For me, I would suggest and advise that JAMB as an institution should be scrapped out.
All right. You're of the opinion that JAMB is no longer relevant?
It has outlived its usefulness.
All right. Now, away from this JAM UTME glitch, let's look at Sheyi Tinubu and allegations by NAN's president. In early May 2025, Comrade Atiku Issa of NAN, that's Nigerian Association of National Association of Nigerian Students, he publicly accused President Tinubu's son Sheyi Tinubu of offering him 100 million naira to endorse the president's image as well as his governorship aspiration in 2027. Now, following his refusal, there was allegedly an orchestrated abduction, physical assault, and threat to his life. And I think the papers, Pulse has it as NAN's president sues DSS, NTA, and Sheyi Tinubu for 38.3 billion naira over alleged adoption. Now, we also have on the papers, Sheyi Tinubu offered me 100 million naira to support his father. And Punch newspaper picks it up as Sheyi Tinubu denies NAN's president 100 million naira bribery and adoption claims. Now, in the light of all this, NAN's president allegedly, accusing Sheyi Tinubu of all these cases of adoption, bribery, and even threat to life. Now, do you believe these allegations? Do you believe there's a way to truth to this?
Looking at the type of country we have found ourselves in,
Yes.
I believe there are elements of truth.
Why do you think so?
I believe Nigeria is notoriously a corrupt country. Everything is possible. My point of view is this. The son of the president of this country and other individuals were accused of committing certain crimes. I expected them as law-abiding citizens to follow the legal process. Currently, I heard that this young man is in DSS detention, in DSS custody. I expected the son of the president and other individuals accused to follow the legal process, go to court, sue this guy or individual to court, let him come to court and defend all his utterances. What did you do? You used the state apparatus and paraphernalia to intimidate him. You have taken him into DSS custody, and who knows what that young man is passing through that place.
Currently right now, though he's no longer in DSS custody, he was, or he's no longer there. And even the NAN's president, Issa Atiku accused him of having his nude. He was videoed, stripped naked and videoed. And there was a threat to release the nude over the internet should he fail to comply. Now, with this, Sheyi Tinubu has come out to deny such accusations against him. Do you think he should take legal action to clear his name?
Denying those allegations is not enough.
All right.
As a law-abiding citizen, I expect him to press charges. If sincerely he believes and feels that this individual or this person manufactured these things and that these things did not happen,
true, yes.
Let him go to court.
So he should go to court to clear his name?
Let him go to court. The court is the only institution that has the ability, the power to make the final pronunciation on this case.
All right. You agree with me that the accusation of NAN's president, that is Issa Atiku, is quite hefty. Adoption, bribery, and threat to life. These are allegations or accusations that should not be, treated with kids' gloves. Now, following the accusation of NAN's president against Sheyi Tinubu, do you think there should be an independent investigation? That Sheyi Tinubu should be called and investigated?
In order to have a kind of investigation that is free from human altercation, I believe an independent investigation should be the best.
Okay.
Now, looking at the kind of country where we are, and the state or status of the individuals involved, it is only an independent investigation that will guarantee a fearless investigation where whoever that is
is called to book.
Whoever that is wrong
Yes.
would be called to book. So I am in support of it, so long it is an independent investigation.
All right, sir. Now let's move away from this Sheyi Tinubu and the announced president's accusation to EFCC probes and Naira mutilation. No, for recent, the EFCC invited and extended an invitation to Tompolo, a key player of national assets in the Niger Delta, owing to the viral video about the cutting, spraying, and trampling on Naira notes. And the EFCC, after prosecuting figures like Bobrisky and Cubana chief priest for currency abuse, faced criticism for perceived double standard when videos of ex-militant leader Tompolo dancing on 1,000 notes on his 54th birthday. The EFCC extended invitations to Tompolo. Now, recall before now that EFCC has interrogated E-Money, an actor and producer, for alleged Naira abuse, while Okoya's heir, Wahab and Rahim have not been invited for interrogation. I think the Punch has it as EFCC invites ex-militant leader Tompolo for questioning following public outcry over alleged Naira abuse in a viral video. We also have Nigerians dare EFCC to arrest Tompolo over alleged Naira abuse. That's the business day. And the Premium Times have it that they put it thus: EFCC bows to pressure, vows to probe Tompolo. Now, with all this ongoing, the saga, Naira mutilation saga, against some certain members of the society, in this case, Tompolo being the latest person of interest. What do you think? Do you think EFCC is now? Do you think they will take action?
You need to understand the type of country you are into.
Yes.
And the type of laws that exist in this country.
Yes.
We have two laws. The first is for the rich.
Okay.
And the second is for the poor.
Okay.
So you can look at the personality involved and you will understand that nothing is going to happen. I tell you. Have you not recently heard that this individual accused has been rewarded with a new pipeline surveillance contract? Recently, billions of money,
yes.
billions of naira. So Nigeria is a country where the rule of law does not affect the rich.
Just a moment, sir. Sorry to mention. When that video went viral, EFCC was quite silent on that. It was as a result of several reports, reporting and tagging EFCC as an institution of government to the video that they reacted. I think the EFCC came up with nobody's above the law. Tompolo will have to answer. I think they came up along that line. So do you think, in line with that, do you think the EFCC is under pressure to act on this issue? Maybe they're reacting instead of acting?
To prove their legitimacy,
yes,
they have to do something. To prove their unbiasedness, they have to do something. And they have already done something, which is extending an invitation. And I put it to you that aside this invitation, nothing again is going to happen.
All right. Now let's look at it from another perspective. EFCC has probed several individuals, in time past, with Tompolo being the recent, the invitation being sent to him. Now we have the lines of Okoya, the Okoya's family, when the sons they had a party, and it went viral on social media. But they weren't called to question. They weren't investigated. Now, in the light of this, do you perceive this to be a selective enforcement by the EFCC?
Res ipsa loquitur. Fact speaks for itself.
Okay.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Many persons are already saying this about this selective prosecution. The Okoyas are quite illustrious and family in Lagos, but yet they've not been proved. E-Money was proved. I think Very Darkman came out to say something about that.
Some individuals you just have to believe in this country are above the law.
All right, now, what do you think is the public perception of EFCC? Somebody said that EFCC they've lost their focus. They seem to just sit and concern themselves with social media videos of those who are caught mutilating the naira.
Just like other government institutions in this country, I can put it to you that a lot of us have lost faith on them.
Okay. All right. Now, do you think do you see, let's assume, without conceding, that Tom Polo, okay, he was invited and probably at any point he was arrested. Should he be arrested? Do you see any violent reaction for the Niger Delta or any consequences for the federal government? Recall that Tom Polo is not just anybody, he's a high-profile person, a key security player of national assets in the Niger Delta.
Government has the capacity to do anything they want to do.
Okay.
The capacity is there. The problem is the will. Do they have the will? Do they want to do it? Looking at the personality involved.
Yes.
Tom Polo is a government of its own.
It's a government of its own.
You need to understand why he had to put that name government.
Yes.
Attach that name government in his name. So he is an institution of its own.
All right.
I put it to you that he falls in the category of individuals who are above the laws of this country.
So your opinion, sir, Tom Polo is untouchable, and there will never be the issue of him being arrested or being honoring the invitation.
To fulfill all righteousness, something like that may happen.
All right. Let's move away from the EFCC mutilation saga, and go down to something very interesting. Yet another one. We have 29-year-old British Nigerian as UK's youngest mayor. I think the guidance have it as British Nigerian becomes UK youngest mayor at 29, while the Vanguard picks it up as 29-year-old Nigerian British makes history as UK's youngest mayor. Now, in the light of this, this is quite recent, when Princess Opeyemi, Pride of Nigerian's descent, was inaugurated the mayor of London Borough of Barking and Dagenham at age 29. Now, in light of this, what does this tell us about politics in the UK? At age 29, she's already a mayor, holding quite a crucial position. What does it tell us about politics in the UK?
The politics in the UK, to a great extent, is a politics of equality. It's politics of equality.
Yes.
Where an individual who is qualified to run for a position is allowed to do so, and where there is free and fair election. UK is one of the countries that respects and adheres to the principles of democracy.
Yes.
So it is not applicable in this country where we find ourselves.
All right. So you don't even see that being replicated in Nigeria. You don't see such possibility in Nigeria.
It is not possible.
All right. What lessons can Nigerian politicians learn from this? That's why the unprecedented event, political move in a way. She's the youngest mayor in UK. That's history. So what do you think Nigerian politicians, by way of lesson, can pick from this?
Nigerian politicians are obstinate and stubborn. They do not learn any lesson.
Okay.
I would rather ask you to ask the Nigerian citizens, the Nigerian youth, the lessons they can learn from what is happening in the UK. How Nigerian citizens flourish in other countries. Coming to their own countries, they live in solitude. They live in isolation. They live in retrogression. What do they do? What do Nigerian youths do? You see Nigerian youth, a full-fledged Nigerian youth, carrying bags for these old politicians, receiving 20,000, 30,000 every month, acting as data boys. They stay online on the internet, defending the atrocious activities of these old politicians who have mortgaged their future.
All right. If I understand your words, are you of the opinion that Nigerian politicians can learn nothing?
Nigerian politicians can.
So it's the responsibility of our youth to learn.
The youth needs to learn, and when we have learned, we should be able to come out, apply what we have learned, and show these individuals that it is not a business as usual. Remember the person who is at the helm of affairs today? He told us that you have to grab power. So the youth of this country needs to sit up and grab power. Power is not just given, power is grabbed. We should be able to stand up, understand what is happening in this country, and grab this power. Else, nothing is going to change.
All right, sir. Now let's move away from there. I know when it comes to Nigerian politicians and discussing their shortfalls, one can get quite emotional. Now let's move away from there to Peter Obi. I am not fighting with Tinubu. My fight is against bad governance. That's the punch. And the leadership has it as the headlines from the leadership. I'm in coalition against bad governance. Now there's this coalition talk ongoing between Peter Obi and of the Labour Party and other political leaders, against ahead of the 2027 presidential election. And recall that before now, that's 2023, the last presidential election, there was such talk with Rabiu Kwankwaso of NNPP. If I'm not mistaken, there is NNPP, but the talk did not put through. Now, in the light of recent talks about coalition and forming a political merger, what do you think of this political merger and coalition? What do you think about it?
Not forming this coalition in 2023 was a mistake.
Okay. Why so, sir?
Refusal
Yes.
to form a coalition in 2023 is the reason we are where we are. Look at the type of destruction that has been done to the Nigerian economy. So I put it to you that not forming this alliance, this coalition in 2023 was a mistake. If these individuals have been able to realize their mistakes and they are planning to form a coalition come 2027 to wrestle power from this current government, I think it should be applauded, and every well-meaning Nigeria should be able to support them.
All right. One of the reasons the 2023 proposed alliance, of Peter Obi with other political leaders did not go through was as a result of political principles. Now, do you think in the light of this proposed political measure, do you think that might compromise Obi's political ideology?
We need to do all that is possible,
yes,
to wrestle power from this current government.
Okay.
If it means you or P2B shifting ground a little, it is not bad.
It's not bad.
Yes, if it means His Excellency P2B should shift ground a little, give room for other individuals, accommodate other minds.
Yes.
So that we can achieve our target at the end of the day.
All right. Now, looking at this proposed political merger, do you think it can be a worthy opponent, a very strong opponent against the incumbent of APC ruling party? Now, recall too that recently there have been a wave of defection to the APC. So, do you think they'll prove to be a very strong opposition against the APC?
There is no opposition as strong as the opposition that comes from the masses. So the masses are the greatest opposition you can see in any government or country. I put it to you, do not look at the utterances and rhetorics from the Nigerian politicians, especially those at the helm of affairs or those at the corridor of power.
Yes.
Now, do not look at the utterances and rhetorics. Go to the streets, make inquiries. You will find out that the people of this country are already dissatisfied with everything that is happening. I can tell you to neglect, boycott, do not put interest on the wave of defection happening in the country. Those are corrupt individuals who are looking for a place where they can stay and their crimes are protected.
But don't you think in the wake of the wave of defection, the consequence of this is the one-party state and the absence of the credible opposition?
Like I told you, the greatest opposition is that which comes from the masses.
And do you think the masses are ready for this opposition? Nigerian masses looking at the political terrain?
We did it in 2023.
Can we say it was successful?
It was completely, totally successful.
Why do you say so?
Res ipsa loquitur, the facts are there. We know who won the election.
All right.
But, only but,
Okay.
only but, the altercation, the evil we have in the name of INEC. Else, we would not have been here today.
You know, I understand that in public space, and side talks, yes, some persons of the opinion that the election was won by somebody else. But then, I think going with what is legal, whoever INEC announced that the winner of the election becomes the winner.
No, that is wrong.
Why is this, sir?
A country should be able to obey its own laws. INEC as an institution should be able to obey and follow her laws, principles. It is not right to jettison all the obvious evidence presented to you and coming out as the INEC chairman to tell everybody to go to the court. It doesn't make sense. That is the reason I talked about men of integrity, manning the important,
yes,
handling the important positions in the country. If that individual happened to be a man and person of integrity, he would not have compromised with.
All right. I know anything that the borders of politics is quite contentious, and full of debate. Mr. T, thank you for being on the show. We truly appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I will end this engagement with the words of Chinua Achebe.
All right.
He said that the problem of this country has been a failure of leadership.
Yes.
The day we get it right, leadership-wise, other countries of the world, the US, the UK, will come to this country to learn and to enjoy what we have in this country. This country is blessed beyond human descriptions and measures. The problem we have had all these years has been a problem of failure of leadership. And I hope one day, 2027, expectantly, we are going to have a change in leadership. An individual massively voted for by the people will emerge, and that individual will do nothing than the wishes and aspirations of the people. Thank you very much. I remain my humble self, Mr. T.
Thank you, Mr. T, once again. All right, we've had it from Mr. T. The problem of Nigeria is the problem of leadership. Chinua Achebe. What are your thoughts on these topical and trending issues in the country? Go to the comment section and let's have that conversation today. Do well to like, share, and comment on my Facebook page, Kings. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel using the handle @Kingsley. Stay informed, stay engaged, keep questioning. Meet you in my next episode. Until then, I remain your host, Kingsley.